The night that changed my life started with a hotel booking mistake. I was standing in the lobby of a luxury hotel in downtown Chicago, exhausted after a 12-hour business conference. My boss, Olivia Carter, stood beside me, scrolling through emails on her phone while the front desk clerk nervously typed on his keyboard. "I'm really sorry, sir," he said. "Due to an unexpected system error, we only have one room available." I laughed. Then I realized nobody else was laughing. "What do you mean one room?" Olivia asked. The clerk swallowed hard. "One suite. 2 beds." My stomach dropped. Olivia was the CEO of Carter Innovations, one of the fastest-growing tech companies in Illinois. She was brilliant, demanding, and intimidating enough to make entire boardrooms sweat. And somehow, I was about to share a hotel room with her. "I can sleep in the lobby," I offered. Olivia shook her head. "Don't be ridiculous, Ethan." For the next 20 minutes, we tried every hotel in the city. Everything was booked because of a major convention. We had no choice. The elevator ride felt longer than my entire career. Inside the suite, 2 queen beds sat across from each other. The room overlooked the Chicago skyline, glowing beneath the night sky. "This is awkward," I admitted. Olivia actually smiled. "Probably the most awkward business trip I've ever had." That surprised me. At work, she rarely smiled. For the first time, she seemed human. While she worked on reports, I opened my laptop. A few minutes later, piano music filled the room. Olivia looked up. "What's that?" I froze. I hadn't realized the volume was on. "It's nothing." "That doesn't sound like nothing." She walked closer. On my screen was a digital composition I had been secretly creating for years. Music. My hidden passion. The dream I never told anyone about. "You wrote this?" she asked. I nodded. She stared at me. Then she said something I never expected. "Ethan, why are you working in software?" At that moment, I had no idea that a simple question would completely change the course of my future, and it would uncover secrets neither of us were prepared to face. Most people at Carter Innovations knew me as the quiet project manager who always met deadlines. What they didn't know was that music had once been my entire life. When I was 17, I dreamed of becoming a composer. I spent nights writing melodies instead of studying. My mother used to sit on our porch in Aurora, Illinois, listening to my music. "One day people will hear this," she'd tell me. I believed her. Until life happened. My father lost his job. Bills piled up. College became a necessity rather than a choice. Music became a luxury I couldn't afford. So I buried the dream. Years later, I graduated with a business degree and joined Carter Innovations. The pay was good. The career path was stable. But every night, after work, I composed music alone in my apartment. Nobody knew, not even my closest friends. Back in the hotel room, Olivia listened carefully as I explained everything. "You've been writing music for years?" she asked. "Almost 15. And nobody knows?" I laughed. "They'd think I'm crazy." "No," she said quietly. "They'd think you're talented." That word hit harder than I expected. Talented. Nobody had called me that in a long time. We spent hours talking. Not about business. About life. Dreams. Failures. Regrets. For the first time, I learned Olivia wasn't the cold executive everyone believed she was. She had sacrificed relationships, family, and happiness to build the company. Sometimes success looked a lot like loneliness. Before going to sleep, she said something strange. "You remind me of someone." "Who?" "My younger self." I wasn't sure what she meant, but something in her voice told me there was more to the story, and I would soon discover exactly what she was hiding. The following week, Olivia called me into her office. I assumed it was about a project. Instead, she closed the door. "Play me another song." I blinked. "What?" "The music." I laughed nervously. "You're serious?" "Completely." So I played one. Then another. Then another. She listened silently. When the final note ended, she leaned back. "Ethan, this is professional level work." I shook my head. "No chance." "I'm serious." For the next several weeks, she pushed me harder than anyone ever had. Every lunch break became a discussion about music. Every business trip included conversations about creativity and risk. Then she made an offer. "I want to invest in you." I nearly dropped my coffee. "What?" "I know people in the entertainment industry. Let me help." It sounded insane, life-changing, and terrifying. "What if I fail?" Olivia smiled. "Then at least you'll fail chasing the right dream." For the first time in years, I considered taking a chance. I began posting my compositions online. Slowly, People started listening. Thousands. Then tens of thousands. My confidence grew. But success attracts attention. Not all of it good. One evening, I noticed something strange. Someone had uploaded one of my compositions under a different name. They were claiming it belonged to them. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Then I saw the account owner's name. Derek Mason, one of the company's senior executives, and Olivia's most trusted advisor. What I discovered next would threaten both my career and my future. I confronted Derek immediately. He laughed. "You can't prove anything." My blood boiled. "That's my music. So sue me." I couldn't believe it. The man had stolen months of work and was profiting from it. When I showed Olivia, she looked furious. Derek would never do that. Her reaction shocked me. "You don't believe me?" I didn't say that, but I could hear the doubt. For days, tension filled the office. Then the real bombshell exploded. An anonymous email reached the board of directors. It accused me of manipulating Olivia for personal gain. Screenshots, edited conversations, false accusations. Someone had built an entire case against me. The board launched an investigation. Rumors spread through the company. Employees avoided me. Friends stopped returning calls. Even worse, Olivia became distant. Professional. Cold. The trust we'd built disappeared overnight. One evening I walked into a conference room and found Derek smiling. "You should have stayed in your lane." That's when I realized. He wasn't just stealing my music. He was trying to destroy me. And he was winning. As the investigation intensified, I received a call that left me speechless. Olivia wanted me suspended immediately. Everything I had built was collapsing, and the worst was still coming. Being suspended felt like losing my identity. For years, work had been my life. Now it was gone. Days turned into weeks. My savings shrank. My music accounts lost momentum. The internet believed the accusations. So did many people at Carter Innovations. One rainy afternoon, I sat alone in my apartment staring at old recordings. Maybe Derek was right. Maybe I should have stayed invisible. Then my phone rang. It was Olivia. "I need to see you." We met at a quiet coffee shop. She looked exhausted. "You were telling the truth." My heart stopped. "What happened?" She slid a folder across the table. Evidence. Financial records. Email trails. Forgery reports. Derek had manipulated everything, including the board, including her. "I'm sorry," she whispered. For the first time, I saw genuine regret in her eyes. But the damage was already done. "I lost everything." "No," she said firmly. "Not everything." She opened another folder. Inside was a contract offer from a major streaming company interested in my music. The deal had been waiting during the investigation. I stared at the papers. For the first time in months, hope returned. But Derek still controlled much of the company. And he wasn't finished fighting. The battle ahead would determine both our futures. Olivia and I worked together in secret. Every evening we gathered evidence. Every document revealed more corruption. Derek had been stealing company funds for years, manipulating contracts, sabotaging competitors, even targeting employees he viewed as threats, including me. The deeper we dug, the uglier things became. Meanwhile, my music career exploded unexpectedly. One song went viral, then another. Millions of streams followed. For the first time, I earned more from music than I ever had from my corporate job. Yet revenge wasn't my goal anymore. Truth was, one night Olivia looked at me across a conference table. "I underestimated you." I smiled. "Most people do." She laughed. The connection between us had changed. No longer boss and employee. Partners. Friends. Maybe something more. But neither of us said it. Not yet. Because we still had one final battle to fight. And Derek was preparing his own move. Derek believed he had already won. That confidence became his weakness. Working with company auditors, we arranged a board meeting. Derek arrived looking relaxed, smug, the room filled with executives and investors. Then Olivia stood. "I have new information." The atmosphere changed instantly. One by one, evidence appeared on the screen. Hidden transactions, forged documents, stolen assets. The room fell silent. Derek's confidence vanished. "This is ridiculous," he snapped. Then we played recorded conversations. His own voice, his own admissions, his own crimes. The board members looked horrified. For nearly an hour, the evidence piled up. By the end, nobody was defending him, not even his allies. Security entered the room. Derek stared at me. "You think you've won?" I met his gaze calmly. "No, I think the truth finally caught up with you." He was escorted out moments later. The company survived. But the emotional battle wasn't over. Because after everything ended, Olivia finally revealed a secret she had hidden since the night we met. A week after Derek's removal, Olivia invited me to dinner. No business agenda, no meetings, just dinner. As the city lights reflected across the river, she finally told me why my music mattered to her. Years earlier, she had been an aspiring pianist. Music was her first love, but when her father became ill, she abandoned the dream to save the family business. I spent 20 years wondering what would have happened if I'd taken the chance. I understood immediately, because I had done the same thing. She smiled sadly. When I heard your music in that hotel room, it felt like looking at a version of myself. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she reached across the table. I didn't want you to make my mistake. Emotion tightened my throat. All this time, she hadn't been helping me because she felt sorry for me. She was trying to protect a dream she once lost. And somewhere along the way, we had become far more important to each other than either of us realized. That night ended with a simple walk along the river. No dramatic declarations. No movie-style ending. Just two people who finally understood each other. But one final chapter still remained. 1 year later, my life looked completely different. My first album topped streaming charts. Concert halls sold out. Music that once existed only in my apartment now reached millions of listeners around the world. Meanwhile, Carter Innovations recovered stronger than ever. Olivia rebuilt trust inside the company and became an even more respected leader. People often ask what changed everything. They expect me to talk about success, money, fame, the viral songs. But they're wrong. The turning point wasn't the music. It wasn't even Derek's downfall. It was that hotel room. A random booking error. A conversation between two people carrying hidden dreams. Sometimes life changes because someone sees a part of you nobody else notices. Olivia saw mine. And because of that, I finally stopped hiding. One evening after a concert in Chicago, I found her waiting backstage. The same smile. The same confidence. But now there was something deeper between us. Something real. Remember that hotel? She asked. I laughed. How could I forget? She shook her head. Best booking mistake ever. I smiled. She was right. Because that mistake led to courage. Courage led to truth. Truth led to success. And success led me exactly where I was supposed to be. Sometimes your hidden talent isn't waiting to be discovered by the world. It's waiting for you to believe in it first. And once you do, everything can change.